Maybe just going around and grabbing asses at the party.
Well, you must be the worst secret agent if you've molested an entire party. Like, you're not undercover if the entire party has been molested by you.
Welcome to the Spindash Retrogaming podcast. Prepare yourself for the joy of classic gaming. Fired straight into your delicate little ear holes. Fire away.
John, what a piece of garbage.
I know.
Just fail. Just miserable fucking fail.
Yeah. I did not expect Nick to have vermouth, so
Nick wins. Nick wins the night.
they were not in like a big alcohol family, so
You just thought that he would fail? You just assumed he'd fail?
You're using the F word a lot. It's not nice of you.
I'm just saying. Nick came in guns a-blazing.
And I'm not going to be a bad Italian anymore. I'm getting some wine this weekend.
All right.
You're the worst Italian.
Our running joke will end. Wait, what are you eating right now? Is it ramen?
Looks like ramen.
Oh, yeah. Quick
You
and easy.
have a vodka martini and ramen.
One step forward with the red wine, two steps back.
You're like college dorm James Bond.
I can make it in 3 minutes. I'm good.
Ugh.
Fuck.
See, Nick likes vodka, so this is probably all up his alley. I'm not.
I mean, traditional martinis are made with gin, I believe.
Yep.
I hate gin.
I would have done better with gin. This is.
I don't like fucking pine cones in my pine tree in my mouth.
I like whatever. Just put it in glass.
Just not the drink of the night that you orchestrated. It was your idea.
I had an espresso martini, so
That doesn't count. James Bond doesn't drink espresso.
I don't have vermouth, so
Matt.
here we are.
So neither do
Okay.
I.
So how you guys been doing? How you recovering?
Tired.
Recovery.
I'm a little tired.
Very tired.
It's not tired. I think it's my body has to recover from everything I took in. Everything.
You did a lot.
I did a lot, and I have destroyed toilets in the aftermath.
I'm just going to start off with breakfast chili. I knew it was going to be a bad.
That's a bad
Trip.
idea. That's a bad idea. That's a bad. And
It was not a bad idea.
I was telling John before you got on, Nick, like, we're pretty stupid. We're not very smart. Like, we said going into this, we're not, like me especially, I'm like, I'm not going to do what I did at Dan's bachelor party. Like, we've got all weekend. There's no need to like hit it hard Friday and then just be like knocked all day Saturday. And then we all showed up and then we all hit it hard Friday because why not?
I hit it hard Saturday too.
You guys, yeah.
Guys,
No,
passed out on the couch.
dueling snoring.
Yeah, well, Matt was silent. You were not. You like, I thought you were going to die. Like, this is the weekend. Like, we're gonna have to like put Nick on like a Viking funeral on the lake and just light him because he's done. He's not coming home.
I'm not that lucky.
Every breath was just a battle for air.
There were snores that hit like 5 octaves up.
You sound like Bob Dylan singing. Oh my god. Yeah. Hey, we got on the ice. We didn't think we were going to get on the ice. We got on the ice.
Yeah. I had to try real hard to make it happen.
Well, I'm glad you didn't give up. So for those listeners wondering what happened, sorry, I was just checking my notes and no one's bringing it up here. Me, John, and Matt had a boys' weekend where we went ice fishing, played video games, drank a lot,
Drank a lot.
with some other friends out. Matt, Tyler, Dan, which we've had on, and we might have some. Matt said he wanted to be on as well.
He just needs to pick a game.
Yep. So Matt, when you get to this episode, your invitation again, and you got to pick a game.
You know what's funny? I think he's more excited about this show than we are, especially this week. Like, especially yesterday when John, you're like, "Oh, it's record night." And I'm like, "Absolutely not. No way. It's not happening."
We could use him because he is an excited guy in general. He was a very good hype man when he caught a fish.
One of the most impressive rally/rebounds I've ever seen. Like he would just him and Nick would hit it hard, and then he would just be gone, and then all of a sudden he would just spring to life off the couch like nothing happened. Very impressive. Wildly impressive.
I was awake, but didn't he also fell right back to sleep after he did that little jig?
No, he cracked another one, and they kept going, and then he finally fell asleep on the floor at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was. Tyler was saying like, "Oh, he's gonna spring up." Like, no, he's not. You don't rally back from that. That's not something you. And sure enough, and he didn't even like warm up. Like they're just like straight off the couch doing a jig. I don't even wake up like that after like 9 hours of sleep.
He's got that youthful energy still, man. That's why.
Oh my God! Saturday, I woke up at 5. And I looked at my watch and I was just like, no, this can't be happening. No. And it's like just fighting to go back to sleep. It's like, it's too soon. Don't do this.
Yeah.
We just went to bed.
I think we were all like dried out too in the morning. Everybody was coughing.
Ooh, if it wasn't for me drinking as much water as I did, I would have been vomiting all day Saturday.
You drank a 5-gallon jug.
I was so dried out, and even after that, I'm surprised I survived and not got a hangover. I didn't have a headache. I didn't get sick, I was actually just trying to make sure I just didn't get sick. I didn't want to get sick at all.
They tell you not to mix alcohols, and we did nothing but mix alcohols. We hit them all. We had bottles of wine at the tunnel bar, bottles of wine, and then we had some bourbon.
Yep.
And we had some beer.
Scotch. I had some scotch too.
Yep.
Yeah, you did. You smelled like it the next day. Just oozing out of your pores.
Yeah, but you weak sauce that. Dan had to come in and just save the day.
He saved the day after I did a incredible act earlier too. So fuck off.
You had like a little crying fest. And you were sweating. You're like, I can't do it. I can't.
The fire of Scotland is burning me. It's burning.
As you wheeze and it comes out like smoke.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Struggle that, Matt.
I do not
know
why you poured 5 fingers of very thick scotch.
I was pretty much already gone by then, so that's why. There was no thought in it. It wasn't not like, hey, I'm going to have 5 fingers worth of scotch. Like, let's go for it.
Hey, and you did go for it because you know what? You connected with your ancestors.
Which one?
You became the Italian you were always born to be this weekend. I'm very proud.
I feel incredible right now.
I felt so great that Friday night. I'll forever be chasing that feeling again. It probably won't happen until my kids move out of the house.
One night of red wine and pizza.
The perfect amount of just intoxicants in your body. The balance.
Wait, whoa, stop for a minute. Me and Matt are drinking attempts on martinis. John, what are you drinking?
Scotch.
I saw something else, sir.
There's water too. I have water.
I wish I had brought water. This is
I already had a martini there.
I'm not a lover of martini. I'm not a lover of vodka. Vodka's not my.
You need to write vodka then.
Yeah,
clear liquors are for. What did Ron Swanson always say?
Did he say soccer moms?
Yeah.
And British secret spy agents, but more on that later.
Mm-hmm.
Hey-o. Yeah. Welcome to Spindash. What's that?
We're recovering, John. Go ahead.
Okay.
It's gonna be a slow episode,
Yeah.
listener. We're not hungover, but we're recovering. It's
This is gonna be a rough one.
We're ending. We're getting out of our mid-30s, going into our late 30s.
Fuck off. You are. I'm not.
You're 6 months behind me, bud.
Yeah.
You're just a year behind Matt, so don't fight it, John.
No, I'm not fighting it.
I can't wait to grays to start coming through, fully come through for me, anyways. I just want to go straight gray.
Anyone got any pickups?
I think I do, actually. Yeah, I actually do. Actually, part of my pickups is the game of the week. Or did I talk about those pickups?
It's been so long, and our brain cells are so fried that who knows? I don't think you mentioned it.
No, I got the game of the week. Was one. Second was Mario Paint. And then I got a Super Famicom box for Super Bomberman 3.
Ooh la la.
Got to get a protector for that bad boy. Display it.
I kind of want to get a actual Super Famicom. Just to have.
Why?
Why not?
I mean, your Super Nintendo can play it. You just got to get rid of the tabs.
I don't want to get rid of the tabs, though.
We'll get a honeybee adapter.
I mean, do I got to?
You want another console that you don't have room for over there?
I really don't. I have no room. I was trying to fit the GameCube.
You don't know what the fuck you want.
I got the GameCube, and that one was hard to fit as well.
More.
And my GameCube has come home. Thanks to Matt.
But in disappointing fashion. We're working on it. It's soldered correctly, so I feel like that's a plus.
It came back with a half chub.
Yeah, it's
not completely impotent, but
tie a stick to it.
What is that? What is that one Toy Story 4? The fork. It's like, I am trash.
That literally is the game. It was trash. It had a shining moment for me, and then it went to Nick and was trash again.
It works fully though. Still,
yeah. We just gotta get your
and I actually played a GameCube game off it too.
Oh.
So the optical drive works. Everything works.
The drive works. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about that PicoBoot mod is you keep your disk drive.
And it looks like it's pretty sleek. All I would have to do is get the covers.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even know anyways. Just sitting on a shelf, you wouldn't even know you're missing the covers. And honestly, if you ever get a Game Boy player for it, you're gonna want to get rid of one of the covers anyways. So I wouldn't worry about it.
So I think I'm going to reshell it though.
Translucent.
Actually, yes.
See-through plastic, yeah.
But I'm trying to think what color I want. If I'm just gonna do like a vibrant color, like something like I think a purple, like straight up vibrant purple.
Neon green.
Neon green would be kind of cool too.
You have to make the other things aesthetically pleasing then.
What do you mean?
Like you have to, if you're going to highlight that, right? Don't you want to put some features around it or behind it instead of just jam it on the shelf?
Oh, I'm planning on reshelling. I'm probably going to reshell the SNES that you got me.
I'm going to slap you.
And I'm going to reshell the 360. And I want to see if there's any good shells for the Sega Genesis too.
So then you have to display them properly in the Calyx cubes.
Yeah, get the cubes, boy.
Or I can just repaint that, put lights on it, and be done with it.
No.
Calyx cubes are too damn expensive.
Do you know how much the shells are going to cost you?
Yeah, if you want to talk about it.
Fucking like $50 a shell minimum.
Yeah.
Higher quality ones keep it going. That's why he needs to not buy the Calyx cubes. He's going to spend his budget on shells.
Yeah.
I just bought 4 Calyx cube sets.
Yeah.
Yep, they're in the living room now with the feet. I bought the feet too. Looks nice. Yeah. All the kids' toys are crammed on it.
Do you have any pickups, my friend, other than your Calyx cubes?
Nope. That's it.
Oh, John.
I know. I didn't get anything yet. Yet.
You have something that works?
No. What's your pickup, Matt?
This is my bumper. I'm excited to talk about it because every now and then I have a bumper crop, and then the next couple ones, it's going to be duds, boys. I'm pushing duds on the next couple ones. So I didn't. Yeah. I showed you guys the light gun I bought, but that didn't make it onto Wind Waker. I don't think I talked about it on Wind Waker.
Nope.
So I got a hold of a Nyko Super Cobra, which is the light gun that lets you plug into the PlayStation and Saturn. So got to play some Virtua Cop, Nick. Got to bust that bad boy out.
Nice. There you go. What does that have for an action? Does it have any feel to it?
Yeah, it's got motors in it, so it has that feel. It lights up on the sides when you shoot it. And it can adapt to be different guns too. Like it will play either, I think the Namco guns are the ones on PlayStation, and then Konami has its own standard. So you flip a switch and you can pick standards on which style gun it will be. That's cool. What else does it have? It's a pretty flexible gun. Like it's meant to be like a one-stop shop on your Saturn and PlayStation for.
So now games. That's working. You know what game I really want to? I don't know if it's out on the Saturn. I want to get one of the Mad Dog games.
Oh, that's on Sega CD, isn't it?
The Sega CD it's on. I thought it was on that. I know it's on 3D. They have it on 3DO as well, and I think that they have it on. I think they have it on some other systems. I think they have it on the Wii, but I heard on the Wii it's horrible.
Yeah. I'll have to look. I don't know.
I remember playing that on the 3DO and just having a ball. Because there's this one scene when I was playing on the 3DO where you come up to this blonde woman that's naked in the river or the lake, and she's like, "Come on in. Cleanliness is next to godliness." And then next thing you know, a shootout happens. So you're shooting out like bandits all around the pond, and she's ducked into the water.
Yeah,
I just want that live action.
Nick, to the list, man. To the list. Put her on the list. We have Wii's. We can play Sega CD. We'll find a way.
Do you remember those old arcade games that had live action cutscenes? Or live action? Or was it the Western shoot 'em up games?
Yeah, but I mean Area 51 has live action people in it.
That's right, it does.
I played that. I played that the other day.
At what was that, at the movie theater in Bangor?
Yeah, Area 50. I love that game.
Yep.
That and House of the Dead. Those are my jams.
Mad Dog McCree is the name of it.
Yep.
Ooh.
It has a 7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah, because the girls in the river naked.
That's it.
It gets the nudity bump. So anyway, my other pickups for my bumper, because we got to move this bad boy along. We got a lot to talk about tonight, boys.
No, we don't.
We do, Nick. We do.
No.
My Fenrir arrived.
All right.
My optical drive emulator for the Saturn. So, fun fact, I had this, and then I thought it was going to be like my GC loader on the GameCube. So I just said, well, I'll just stick it in the thing and I'll be fine. Didn't realize that it didn't have standoffs to it. You need a mount. Otherwise, you just got this thing. So my mount came while we were on our trip.
Yep.
So Sunday, Nikki fell asleep, and I was like, well, I should go to bed. But I also could just build this thing. It's one of those things I was overtired, and I'm trying to get this thing together, and my brain's not functioning correctly, and I'm getting pissed. It's like these screws don't go back. I kept dropping screws, and they were going under the board, the Saturn.
I hate that.
Just when you get that brain fog, you're just not thinking clearly.
That's the liquor.
Yeah, it worked. I got it to work. So nice. thanks to Laser Bear. They make the best 3D printed mounts for your consoles. Shout out to them.
All right.
They had a very good instructional YouTube video, which is great because man, I could not for the life of me figure out how to install this fucking thing. My brain just things were not making sense that should have made sense. So, and the last pickup isn't really a pickup, but I picked up Rare Replay on the Xbox, and I bought the digital version. When I was thinking about buying the physical one, I was batting around the idea because it is literally the best deal in gaming. But I bought the digital because I wanted GoldenEye. So I've been playing GoldenEye on the side.
On the Switch or the Xbox?
Xbox.
Yep.
So
Nice.
So bumper crop for me. Expect a dry spell, boys. I'm coming into a dry desert.
Well, maybe your dryness of pickups will lead to my dump replenishing.
Ah, the wet dump. Moist dump.
That also describes what you two had on Monday.
Sorry to the West Gardner Toll Plaza.
Are you though?
Real
Are you?
janky too, man. I do not like the rest stop bathrooms.
Just clear the place out.
You maxed out your fucking Kawasaki.
It's like on South Park where he shits out, the Katie Currings.
Yep.
I did the little spin maneuver as I shit out Bono. Yeah.
Oh,
That was bad. That was a bad ride. Just like, I think I can make it home. Nope. No, I can't.
On top of eating a burrito bowl on Sunday too.
That was the icing on the cake. Like, Justin has the best dumb ideas. Like, it was a delicious burrito lunch that we had.
That was amazing, yeah.
But after drinking all weekend and eating sausage, pizza, pad thai, what else did we have?
pasta and sausage.
Pasta, just soaked in booze. He decides to like icing on the cake it and do Mexican. It's like, that's a brilliantly stupid idea.
Yeah.
We need one healthy thing that realistically. Oh wait, well we had oatmeal.
We had oatmeal.
So we played a game.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
We actually got to play together.
I was going to say,
played
we
with
all
each other.
played. Yeah. First time playing, right? We never played a game.
We
online
never played
against.
together.
We tried to play Warcraft 2 online. Didn't work.
Yeah, fart noises.
Womp womp. So we'll try to bring it tonight on this, but we are running low on Nightfire.
Monotone celebration. Yay.
That's got to be the thing. I can see my username up on my picture.
Oh, Roger Moore's third nipple. Very nice. Very nice.
It's a little Bond humor for you.
It's a Scaramanga.
Were you guys
God.
into the Bond
Oh yeah,
movies?
Oh, yes.
yeah, big
Yes.
time.
My stepdad was really into the Bond movies and the Bond books.
The books are horrible. Like they
Really?
are. They,
Like,
I mean, not horrible, but they're very offensive because they were written. Yeah,
They're not
Well,
horrible in the sense
sign
of
me
like,
up.
yeah,
yeah,
that's just good.
My
Go straight
third
through.
nipple is tingling. Offensive? Yes.
yeah, very offensive. From what I've heard, I've never read them, so maybe I should check my facts.
I mean, like Sean Connery smacking bitches probably wasn't all that isn't all that PC in 2023 either. So I can't
Right.
imagine the books are. You can get away with a lot more in a book than you can in a movie.
What was his interview with? Who was it with?
Was that Barbara Walters?
Yes. Sometimes you just have to give him a smack. Give him a smack.
Oh my god, that interview. That's obscene.
But we had, I think, the Bond that we all grew up with on this one. Mr.
Baby's first Bond right there. Yes.
Yep. What was he in? So we played Nightfire 007. It was 2002, and it came out on Xbox, GameCube, PS2, I think PC, right?
Yeah, that was a sucky
Game Boy
port.
Advance.
Game Boy Advance after they ported it.
Yep.
I don't know how shitty that looked, but I can't imagine it was like as good as these.
It wasn't ported that much later over though. 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, still.
Not bad.
I mean, it was ported on a Mac as well, apparently.
Yep. I wouldn't play this on a computer. I think the console was supposedly better.
Yeah, you're missing levels, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, definitely console.
I played it on the Cube. I don't know about you guys.
PS2.
Xbox.
Hey!
Oh, the trifecta. Look at that.
Though I'll say, and we'll go into more, after playing, and Matt, I think only me and Matt will have opinion on this. What controller did you like best?
Oh,
Xbox.
I actually like the GameCube over the PS2.
I would have probably liked the Xbox because the offset sticks and that it didn't have a C stick, which suck.
I hate that C stick.
Yeah.
See, and that's one thing I didn't care for with the PS2 is because the sticks were not offset.
Yeah,
they're right next to each other, so it just made some controls a little wonky for me. Which this game also had some great options for setting up your controller too.
A lot of choices.
I thought that was very fascinating.
Yeah, there was a lot of choices in this one. The multiplayer was pretty diverse. I think you could. I didn't do it, Matt. You said you played against bots on the multiplayer.
Yeah, they're dumb as hell. So I don't know what the order of you want to discuss on this, John. You're Judi Dench. You lead us. But if you want to talk multiplayer, you tell me when. I will tell you the bots are either dumb or brilliant, but there's no in between.
We could do multiplayer because I feel like a lot of people probably have tie-ins to that.
It was just standard. I mean, one thing I did like the storyline. It was a nice storyline in the sense of it actually kind of carried you through the fact that they were doing like little cut scenes in a sense to kind of bring the story together. I actually enjoyed those cut scenes, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I actually thought one thing of all, I think actually the graphics on both the PS2 as well as the GameCube were not horrible at all.
They're pretty good.
I thought they were pretty good.
Janky. So, I mean, it was a clean game.
Besides the last level where you're shooting the guys in the little spacesuits and it just those looked bad.
But this thing came out, so like Agent Under Fire came out in 2001, and I think this is allegedly a sequel or pseudo sequel to that. And from what I've heard, the graphics on this are much better than Agent Under Fire. Like in the course of like several months, it was within months they released the sequel, like 8 months, 9 months, something like that. And I think it got a pretty hefty graphical boost.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they spent like a year and a half on this one. I looked at one of those little videos they put out of everybody, doing the mocap and working on it and talking about it. And, they really stuck the Aston Martin in this game a lot.
They did.
I don't know if that's when the new model was coming out, but you drove that one a lot. And one of my favorite levels, you had that. So that was cool. A lot of variety in this one. I didn't play Agent Under Fire. I think I played GoldenEye. And
so what was your first Bond game? Was it GoldenEye?
GoldenEye, yeah, which was great.
I think that's most people's first. There was a lot of games before that. Like there's a shitty like Moon Patrol clone on Atari that was James Bond. I mean, they go way back, but like no one gives a fuck. Everyone cares about GoldenEye. That is the game.
Did they put one on the Super?
They probably did. Like James Bond or James Bond Jr. I'm pretty sure they had They had Game Boy. They had other James
I know
Bond
a Game
games.
Boy one existed, but yeah. So we all played GoldenEye. We all played the hell out of it.
Well, that game was huge too because licensing games, unless you're Nick, are usually a disappointment. And that game like blew everyone's ass off.
There's only one movie licenses game I really. Are you talking about licensed games in general or movie licensed games?
We're gonna go in general. We'll just say in general, and whatever you're gonna say next, I'm gonna say yet. I guarantee you're like the classic license game guy. That's your.
I guess name one that I liked, and you said I overrated. Then sorry, but if we're going off this tangent, please educate me.
I don't want to say the word again because you'll get a boner.
Come on.
Do it. I want you to say it.
I want Stiffy.
Is it Quackshot?
Oh, well, I mean, if we're gonna talk licensed games from Nick. I mean, let's see. We'll go down the list. Who has picked the most licensed games? Just off the bat. I mean, I can't penalize Nick for 2 different Aladdins. I'm only going to hit him once for that. Maximum Carnage. And then there's Quackshot.
Turtles.
Turtles was a licensed game. I wouldn't count Dragon Ball Z as licensed. I wouldn't. That's tough. That's a tough one. But in spirit, Nick, the most likely to pick a licensed game would be you. Would you deny that or accept that?
That's all I was in my household, so that's what I usually go up and pick. So I guess, sure. I will semi-agree, but just only because
fuck you, Matt.
That and John is always going to try to go for the unique and I heard on this little site here that this is a hidden gem.
And he's paid dearly for that.
Oh, yeah, sure have.
And I'm just trying to save our listeners.
You didn't
when we come from some dumpster fires.
Oh.
Nick, we'll wait till the end of the episode when you can tell us what we're going to play next, okay, Nick? We're going to have a very different tone when we tackle our next game.
What is it?
Yeah. I've watched videos. I know what I'm getting into. Anyway, so Bond movie games, right? You had GoldenEye in 97.
Yep.
Huge game. I mean, that just like, you can't stress that was console gaming first-person shooter. Massively important. Then you had Tomorrow Never Dies on PlayStation. Fart noises. I don't know anyone that likes that game. Mm-hmm. Someone please tell me if you do.
Was that on 64 too?
No, but World Is Not Enough, and that was on 64 on PlayStation.
That was garbage.
I didn't mind it. It wasn't GoldenEye, but it wasn't, wasn't as bad as everyone made it sound like.
So I never played, unless with friends, GoldenEye.
Yeah,
I never played anything, and GoldenEye for me was very short in a sense of like, I played. I'm like, okay, like I die, and I didn't really play the hell of it. I actually didn't play realistically. I didn't really play many first-person shooters until probably I hopped onto the PC and I started playing. I think the Call of Duty line.
Yep.
Like the very first Call of Duty. And I think that was third-person shooter, actually, the first of them.
Really? I didn't know
think
that.
some were third person, if I remember correctly. And even then, I think it was... what was the other big shooter that everyone played on PC? But yeah, I didn't really play shooters realistically. And console, I think it wasn't until Halo that I really played got into first-person shooters. So I was all about, typically, RPGs was my biggest thing, I think.
Yeah.
Or some RTSs.
I played this over at Justin's. Justin had this, and we played the shit out of it. That was, I played the shit out of GoldenEye. But I didn't touch this game. I knew of Nightfire, and I think we played a little bit in college. But it didn't get the attention that GoldenEye did. That was kind of like, N64, you had to have GoldenEye. I remember someone talking about Nightfire in the same kind of tone.
What were the games released that would overshadow it that year?
I don't know about that year, but GoldenEye was the first person shooter to play in that era. I would argue. Some people would say Perfect Dark's better, and maybe they're right, but still, GoldenEye is the most important of that era.
Internet
on console.
Oh, no wonder this was overshadowed.
You had Halo. Halo came out.
You had Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yep.
You had Metroid Prime. That's a big one during that time. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. That was huge. Kingdom Hearts series started. It says Resident Evil, but I think it was like one of the director's re-releases.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else would knock it realistically out. Also during that time, you also think that what was it? Internet was still realistically at its infancy, and that's really now how we get hyped up on games. We'll see an ad or some type of spam. The only other way you're going to really find out about games is going to your local game store and seeing either some promotional item up for it, or if you are getting any type of game or magazine in some
Nintendo
form.
Power.
Yeah, well, you want to probably see this, and I bet this was probably going to show in Nintendo Power.
Mm.
Yeah, I believe the tail end, because I think Nintendo Power probably died out in the Wii GameCube age. My guess is that we just got Bond fatigue, honestly. Because you figure they're putting out so many games, so the ones I just listed, that was like a Bond game every year. It's like Madden.
Yeah.
And I feel like you grew up playing GoldenEye, and you suffered through Tomorrow Never Dies, which is third person and trash. The World Is Not Enough is a letdown. I don't know anyone talking about Agent Under Fire, though. I know people played it. If you've had that kind of experience, I don't know many people would say, I'm going to take a chance on Nightfire, which I'd argue is kind of a shame, honestly, because I really enjoyed this game. I know I'm jumping out of order by saying what my thoughts on it are, but this game had a lot of positives for me. I think we should have paid more attention to this back in the day. We slept on it.
I wish I could say the same. I think the best part for me was playing with you guys.
Yeah.
That was it.
So you didn't like the campaign?
I'm not saying it's not good by any means.
Yeah.
It just didn't tickle my fancy.
Oh, interesting.
But I kind of had a feeling it wasn't going to really do it because I'm not a fan of. I'm not even a fan of the Metal Gear Solid series. The kind of have to sneak around, or go in. If I think I'm playing a FPS, I'm going to guns a-blazing kind of deal. I'm not trying to do any covert ops missions. It's too slow for me to do that. So I'm like, let's keep on going. Again, not to say this game wasn't great. It just didn't meet what I was looking for a game. Playing the multiplayer was great because it's like, okay, keep on going. Okay, I'm going to die at any minute. This, I just felt like, okay, let's go through here. Yep, shoot up. I mean, I didn't play this game. I didn't even play this game like a 00 agent by any means. I went guns a-blazing through the whole level.
You're like Danny DeVito in that meme. So I start blasting.
Just blasting everything.
I may, how do I phrase this? I love GoldenEye's campaign. Everything I'm going to say is a comparison to GoldenEye. One, because I'm playing it, and two, because that's always my frame of reference on Bond games. But I think if in my play through of this, if you're looking for the complete package of a Bond game, I think this is it.
It had the better gadgets. I mean, we had a couple years and better graphics.
You had gadgets. It had its own theme song. Can we talk about that? She was like a Canadian art. It had its own theme song.
Yep.
They got the likeness of Pierce Brosnan. They didn't get his voice, which is kind of odd and off-putting.
But they did have his likeness. Did they get the actual voice for M though?
No,
I know.
Or did it had some voice matcher?
No, they did not get anybody famous for this.
They found random British guy off street and they said, "Do you sound British?"
For M.
No, they didn't get anybody famous for the game.
I know, but did it sound like? I mean, it sounded like her in a sense.
No.
Right off. I thought so.
It was a woman like Judi Dench, and that's where the similarities ended.
It didn't sound that close to her. I thought that the Brosnan was all right. I mean, he's kind of. You don't know Pierce Brosnan for his voice; it's more for the face. Tangent. Brosnan is third best. I had that to bring up.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's go through that. Number one. Who's your number one Bond?
Connery.
Yeah, that's Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nick? Connery.
Okay. Number two.
Craig.
Craig's fourth for me.
Yeah, Craig's lower. I would actually. I might bump Brosnan up.
You think he's two?
I might put Brosnan at 2.
Yeah.
Craig was real high until like Skyfall, and then after Skyfall, which I loved,
he was more of like your brute. He was like your, I guess, I don't know, like your soccer hooligan, I guess. Bond.
That's actually a good. That's like the best. That's apt. That's very apt.
I just could not see
he was
more as a James Bond because to do some of this stuff, like he's trained in martial arts, and like Roger Moore looks like he trained in like concert violin. Like
yeah, he's their yacht club Bond. I'm not a Roger Moore fan. I actually think Timothy Dalton's underrated. Oh, and I like Timothy Dalton more than Daniel Craig, honestly.
Yeah.
Because if you're going for brute, like Timothy Dalton's movies, he was a lot more brutish. Then you had like Connery. Everyone forgets George Lazenby, and I will too.
Yeah, what do you have? One?
Just one.
Yeah.
And then you had Roger Moore, which is like the dandy Bond, like your pervy uncle coming by. And then you kind of went back. You had Timothy Dalton, who kind of was like, I'm going to be more like Connery beating up people.
Dalton did 2?
Yeah. He was supposed to do Goldeneye, but then
that's right.
It got stuck in like licensing and development hell.
Dalton had one of the better movies too, right? Where like didn't his wife or something, wasn't he married for a hot minute?
That's Lazenby. That's on Majesty's Secret Service.
That's the one.
I get Dalton's movies mixed up, the names.
The one Daylights was Dalton, right?
Yeah, that one was good, and the one after that was kind of sucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Daylights and License to Kill.
Yeah, License to Kill, I didn't like that one. And then you had Brosnan. Like Goldeneye was awesome, and Tomorrow Never Dies was kind of meh. And then you had like Denise Richards, who I used to have a massive crush on, but she's playing an astrophysicist. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to pull a Justin here. I can suspend disbelief in a movie. Like, I don't need Spider-Man to be realistic. I know he's a fucking superhero, but you can't convince me that Denise fucking Richards is a nuclear physicist. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Oh man,
who was your favorite Bond girl?
Oh man, that's tough. I loved The Spy Who Loved Me. What's that? Barbara Bach. I think she married the fuck was his married Ringo. I thought Barbara Bach married Ringo.
Yeah. The older ones escape me because they're not well-known actresses.
Jane Seymour, Dr. Quinn.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Solitaire.
Yeah. I don't know, the best character. Bond girl, probably the who played Natalia.
Oh, the one, the Russian girl. I don't know what else she's in.
She had a good arc. She was a little
Isabella Scarparupico, blonde girl, right? If I remember,
redhead. She was red in the movie.
Yeah,
I think.
movie.
Yeah,
dude. Everyone back in the day loved Famke though. Let's be honest. Like the girl's gonna kill you by crushing you with her thighs. Like that movie came out and we're a bunch of like horny 15-year-olds. It's just like she could kill me. She could kill me all day.
Yeah, Natalia on the top.
Yeah.
And then Robbie Coltrane in that movie. Rest in peace. Yeah, he played the Russian double agent in Goldeneye.
Which guy was this?
The guy who played Hagrid.
Oh yeah, that guy's dead.
Yeah, he died this
Valentine.
year.
Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Or
sad.
last year, sorry.
Yeah.
That dude was great. That dude was great.
Yeah, Goldeneye is probably the one that I've watched the most, and I think I probably saw.
I actually like Eva Green, though. I think in the newest ones.
Yeah, she's good.
But
Yeah, she's real good.
I have a hard on for her.
Vesper Lind.
Yeah. And then just so I can get out of the way, we can get back to the game. What's the most recent one?
Spectre?
No Time to Die.
No Time to Die.
Oh, yeah.
Hot fucking garbage. Okay, there's your soundbite. Moving on.
Oh, you
trash. Just worse than the appearance of Nick's
Didn't they
GameCube.
do that? Was that movie like hold on to for a while before they released it?
Yeah, they sat on it. It was in like COVID hell. But it just should never have seen the light of day.
They didn't do enough with the villains in that.
A good Bond villain is important to the movie. That makes or breaks it. I want to see Sean Bean get thrown off a satellite dish.
Yeah, how did Rami Malek die in this one? In a pond?
I don't know. Some dumb shit.
Yeah.
I think so. It's like you're going to pay for Rami Malek to yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. Just, I don't know. Go back and watch a Connery movie if you haven't seen the newest James Bond. You'll be so much happier for it. Any of the Connery movies, even the worst ones. So this game, I think
The game
was perfect in that it kind of was all Bonds.
It did have a nice mashup that was well blended. Drake was the villain. I think he might have been based off of the Moonraker guy, kinda.
So it's funny you say that, how you like how the mesh up. That's actually how the story was put together.
Was
They
it
took
really?
all the best of Bonds in a sense, took all the best parts of movies and I think the books even, and they put it into this pretty much amalgamation of a new Bond story.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think just the fact of during the time they probably used Pierce Brosnan's Bond to just represent because he was still doing Bond at the time. But yeah, they took different parts. So actually, this is not based off any particular movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the ending was wild. I mean, let's just come out and say when you end on Moonraker,
Yeah.
you know, shit has gone insane. Laser fights in space with James Bond. And everyone who knows Bond knew what they were doing too. The game is not subtle about it, and that
Nope.
you know, you know that they're giving you a best of, which I appreciate. The cars, I love the car levels. Did you like the car levels, Nick, or hate them?
Yeah, that was kind of fun.
They were easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much just like John said, it's easy. Oh, what am I doing? I think you can almost walk away and probably still pass the level without having to do much with it. It's
A couple of ones were it felt like they were on rails.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were just guided, which is fun. Wasn't hard. I think my one hang up was the sniper mission.
Is that the one in the nuclear silos?
No, you were in the loading docks.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell where the snipers were. So you either had to scan the whole thing or you had to bait them into shooting you and figure out where it's coming from. So that got a little tricky. But the silos one was a little tough.
That was a grapple-y kind of level. I know that you could use the sniper. I think you got a sniper rifle on that one.
maybe. Yeah, once you got
Thank
the
you.
laser, it's like just keep the laser. That thing was
Yeah.
nasty.
I felt like this game did a lot, like you said, harking to what made Bond Bond. The gadgets, the guns, and they even played to the girls.
Yeah, he had 3 women in this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had that woman, like you first go up and you just pretty much straight up, like, how undercover are you? And next thing you know, you're making deep tongue in this. And then the other agent you're supposed to meet, the undercover CIA agent, comes in. I'm like, oh shit, it's supposed to be a 3-way going on here.
Oh, at the party.
Yeah, the Zoe and Dominique, right?
Yeah.
I don't. They weren't as like important. I don't remember them being. Who was the one that got chucked or like shot on the rooftop as you like jump off? You get captured by the Kiko girl, and then they capture your partner too, and Kiko goes to shoot her. Was that Zoe?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I was going to say Mary Fuck Kill, the Allura, Dominique, and Zoe. Because Allura's the one at the end. She's like the Australian one. And but he just tongues everybody. Like every female character, he's like, yeah, I got to have my quip, and then we make out.
Walk around the party. Did you walk around the party scene and like go up to girls and stuff like that? Like every one of them, like they could have just been like, "I'm gonna suck your dick right now." They could have put that in the game, like Mr. Bond, it's time for me to suck your dick, and that would have been just as
Did you run into one of the waiters at the party?
No,
thank you. Like what?
He's just going around and grabbing asses at the party.
Well, you must be the worst secret agent if you've molested an entire party. Like you're not undercover if the entire party has been molested by you.
I'm surprised that 007 hasn't been canceled.
That's what they're trying to do to him. That's why they put out this other one that's just like.
I'm assuming the Me Too like movement must be huge on going against Bond.
That's the books came up, and yeah, how offensive the books actually are. But everybody's like, yeah, it was written back in the 60s. I don't know. Like, you ever read a children's book from way back?
Oh man, dude, I read the kids' stuff from the 30s. You want to talk about shit that's wild, man? Stuff from the 30s.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's funny because it's like I love this book as a kid, and then I get into it, I'm like, oh shit. I'm gonna keep reading, but oh shit.
I've skipped over words before, like, oh, all right, because my dad will just. He's like, I got kiddo some books, and I'm like, okay, and they're all older than us combined, and it's just like skipping that page. Thankfully, you can't read yet or remember them well enough, but yeah. This I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, that level where you're like rescuing or you're destroying the hard drive in the Asian palace.
Yep. And
you like shoot a guard, and then you just make out with a massage girl, and you say a stupid line. I'm like, yes. Every level has that. It's that quip, and it's like how because I know that they did mocap for this, so like, can you? I would have a tough time not dying from laughing, just doing that stuff, trying to act that shit out because it's so cheesy.
It's so good. It's so good. That's the problem is everyone's like, James, that he's such a this, that, whatever. People have their problems with it. It's all escapism, right? I mean, that's what a Bond thing is. Like, I work a stupid fucking desk jockey job. I run Excel sheets. I come home and kids spit boogers on me. Like, that's just, and then James Bond, he's got gadgets, he's got girls, he's got cars, he's blowing up shit.
And sometimes he's just smacking bitches around.
Just let it happen, right? I mean, it's not like I'm going to do that. I'm literally typing in formulas in Excel. Let me enjoy my misogynist asshole secret agent molesting a party. Like, let me have one thing.
You're the new Q in the Daniel Craig movies.
I liked him. He was good.
Ben Whishaw or something. Yeah, he was funny.
They did a good kind of like, because they had the fuck was that guy's name? But he was in like 40 of the Bond movies.
The old kooky guy. Yeah, he was good.
He was
shit.
Great.
Toward the end, he's just like, I don't give a fuck.
I love how it starts off with like Connery. It's like, oh, James, stop wrecking my stuff. And near the end, he's just like, you're a fucking dumbass.
Yeah. Yep. I love that. It was a Brosnan movie where he has the tablet or whatever, and he can drive the BMW.
Yeah.
And he like lays down in the back and drives out of the garage with his little controller. It's like, oh fuck yeah.
Dude, Bond had some crazy cars. Like I can't remember the one where the car goes underwater. It's like that really tacky looking 70s, like angular looking vehicle. It might have been 80s. Roger Moore.
Yep. It wasn't a Countach, but it was there were some very 80s like Italian cars that they fucking just Frankenstein. Those were I can't go back. The Roger Moore movies are just so dumb.
They were like when he goes and he hits the jump with a car and the car
sound effects.
We're just like, and you got like the hillbilly guy from the South, the sheriff. What in tarnation? It's like the Smokey and the Bandit fucking bullshit is this.
That's exactly what I thought. And my name in particular, like he dresses up like Scaramanga. And it's like, oh, what is his identifying feature? He's got a third nipple. It's like
it's the fakest third nipple ever, too.
Roger Moore just takes his shirt off and he's just like, he's like, look at my titty, everybody. And then they're like, oh, that's Scaramanga. Oh no.
Christopher Lee, put that titty away. Put that titty away. Christopher
Lee was the highlight of the Roger Moore run.
They had Christopher Walken, but that movie was fucked.
That was so dumb.
You had like 70-year-old Roger Moore hooking up with like 20-year-old chicks, and not in a good way. Not in like you go get them young girls, pervy old man. It's more of a grandpa. No, back in the old folks' home, grandpa.
Get that Seagram smell off of me. That Tanqueray, whatever the fuck he drinks. I like this game. The missions were fun. It had a lot of variety. The weapons were all right.
Let's talk about the weapons. What did you guys think of the weapons? We're all beating around the bush. Let's just talk about the weapons.
The fucking reload sucked.
Oh, Jesus. Yes.
The reload was slow.
I didn't mind it.
It might have been more realistic. I don't know. The switching, like on the GameCube, and maybe the way I had the controller.
Well, that's the other thing, and there's a lot of control options.
I would hit down on the D-pad, and I put on the different glasses when I meant to like get out the grapple hook, or like I'd be like, okay, and then I cycle through to the cell phone instead of a gun, and I'd be like, oh shit. So that's probably just user error, but there was a lot of rotating that you did, and
that's like the grenade launcher or whatever it was. I kept putting it in delay on accident.
Yeah,
and then it's just like, why is no one dying? Yeah,
yep. The heat seeker or the guided missiles were a blast. Oh, those were fun.
Guided rockets on fucking Skyrail, man. That is peak gaming rate. I could have done that all day.
We played that for like 3 hours. That was good shit.
You would know, you hear that. It's like, oh no, something's coming at me.
Try to squeak it around that corner through a doorway. Just nail somebody.
And even on the levels where like it had a variety of weapons and it wasn't just explosives, when someone got a hold of that guided rocket, it's like, oh shit, everyone's butthole gets a little bit tighter. And it's like, oh, I got to be a little more careful. Here it comes.
Yeah,
I love the weapons. The weapons are all based off like real weapons. I found a site like you can compare like the PP7 is the equivalent of a Walther PPK.
Yep.
The Raptor 50 is a Desert Eagle. The Kowloons are basically Glocks. Like all the weapons that you're using are basically real weapons. They just couldn't get the names to them in the game.
Yeah, the license rights.
Yeah.
That happens to a lot of games too.
Yeah,
like they'll make it so it looks, and if they can't get it, what was I going to say about like? I like the controls in the sense of you had options how to pick, and how the controls were on the game were all named after different Bond movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was just nifty in general that they did that. Like, you didn't have to do it. There was no rhyme or reason. You just go in to change it there. But to do that, I just thought it was just a little nod to all the James Bond.
This is we can file this under sad and pathetic. I really like several drinks in while we were out there on this weekend. Like, we paused and it brought up the pause screen, and one of the animations that come down the pause screen is like a girl falls down and she's like slinking around. She points the gun, then points it, and then backs up slowly. I must have watched that for like maybe a good solid 15 minutes as I sipped a drink and I thought about it. But that was a nice touch.
It's like an intro. It's like a
There's no need for it, but it is a very I don't know, a lot of fine touches. Like, they didn't need to name the controllers after the Bond movies.
Yeah.
But they did.
That paired with the pause music from GoldenEye. There you go. You remember that? The pause, like when you pause GoldenEye with the it's that doom 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 doom. Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. They did it with the music, and this game was cool too. You just reminded me, like, if you would do cool shit, you get the 007 logo, like you did a Bond move, like if you like grapple hooked and then swung and kicked somebody, that's a Bond move. There's a couple other ones like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you like James Bond, this game had a lot for you. I can see, like, if you weren't a Bond fan, maybe you wouldn't have noticed or cared about a lot of the stuff.
There's just a nice little hidden Easter eggs in this.
Yeah, like it played to you.
You had to install the software on the computer. You had to crack a code with your phone. The grapple hook, that was cool.
You had the laser watch.
The laser watch, yeah.
You set off explode. Oh, the other thing is the girl that gets killed. If I remember right, doesn't she get killed on like a rocket launch or something?
She gets fried, Kiko. Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets scorched. You like drop the platform on her and she tries to make it to the control room and then just gets incinerated as you blast off to the space defense.
There's always, like, in the Bond movies, there's always a death. It's kind of humorous, but also horrific.
Yeah.
Like, he just like kills somebody, but like he doesn't really intend to kill them. It just kind of happens. But it's kind of like very cheeky and cool as he escapes. They're just like getting their face melted off.
Yeah.
And that had it. Like, this game had that in it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like them. I think they could do a reboot of this game and bring it to the newer consoles.
If they did like an anthology remastered. Because I have the GoldenEye for the Wii, and they swapped out Brosnan for Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it's not as good.
No, it was okay. It was like, I think the levels were copied for the most part. I think I beat it, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Yeah.
The problem with these games is always licensing. Like, I don't think any of the Bond games that don't quote me on this, don't flame me, internet, but I don't think any of the Bond games right now, other than GoldenEye, are on Microsoft backwards compatible or on GameCube or on a PlayStation service. Like, I don't think you're going to get, I'm scrolling through the game list, but like Everything or Nothing or, or From Russia with Love. Like, I don't think those are backwards compatible. Those are kind of like lost to gaming hell right now.
Yeah.
Because this game would be great, backwards compatible, bring back the online play. We could all get on Xbox, in theory, or Switch, but probably not. It's probably not going to be a Switch game, because Nintendo hates us. But get on there and, fire guided rockets at each other. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
You want to do our closing thoughts on this bad boy?
Yeah. We got rankings, right?
Well, which closing thoughts? We always kind of give our last, hurrah.
Yeah.
We do the rankings.
I picked this. I played it a little bit back in the day, and I think it's a great game. Amazing multiplayer. We could have kept playing. There's so many options we didn't even touch. Capture the flag, like the bots, all the different things that we didn't really talk about.
But yeah, we really didn't get into all the other options, really, did we? We just kind of stuck to the standard ones. But it did. The game had all the multiplayer things you would come to expect in any type of first-person shooter.
Yep.
So it's not lacking.
All the platforms, it's got versatility. I really like this one. It goes up there for me.
I enjoyed playing, but it's not a game I'll pick up again. Like, just to play by myself or anything of that nature. But if, we did other, guys' weekend or something like that, or I go over to your house, John, I'd play multiplayer all day long. But that's pretty much my extent of the game, I think.
I liked it a lot. Man, our rankings are going to be weird when we look at this one, but I liked it a lot. It checked off so many boxes for me, being a James Bond fan. I don't think it did anything new. But whatever it did well. There you go, drink. There's my line. It gave you that James Bond feel. It had a James Bond story. It was over the top. It was, the James Bond best ofs, and you ended with fucking Moonraker. Controlled well. Had a lot of options. It checked off all my boxes. I was very happy with this one. Now for the rankings. So, John, you put this in your number 13 spot.
Yep. It bumps Terranigma down. Still below Castlevania, Harmony of Dissonance.
Yeah. Nick.
Holding strong.
You put this in your 27 spot.
Mm-hmm.
It is below Metal Slug and above KOTOR.
Yep.
So here's where I think Nick and I are like, we're in the same spot, but Nick and I's tone is very different. So I have it in my 28 spot, below Jet Grind Radio and above Battle of Olympus. But Nick talks about this game and like it's not one of his favorites. I'm looking at my list going, this is a really solid game. I just think we have a lot of good games.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just it wasn't for me in a style, but I'm not saying it's a horrible game. I think it's just it wasn't a game that I'm gonna go out and play. Or I'm like, hey, this could be an annual game for me.
Well, would you do that with some of the ones above it?
Yeah. I could, of looking at the list, definitely in the top 5, I could say I'd play annually. I know number 1 I've played annually. My number 1 has been played annually.
You play it monthly. Who are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
Or I'd say I could actually just do a quick pickup with those. This one just didn't. I'm not a big covert ops person. So, but at the same time, I had to judge it in the sense of, okay, look what else is on the list. Well, I think this beats out with the fact that it has a great multiplayer, a great fact that it had those nuances of naming different control patterns after movies. It had little Easter eggs as far as, you had the pause menu, which had, in a sense, a loop of a Bond intro where you have a girl dancing in the foreground, the background, and just different things happening. Be it you do a special move and you get 007. Those are all things that I think just, though I didn't like playing it, but were good aspects of the game itself. Or I don't say don't like playing it, but enjoyed playing it in the same sense I would my other ones.
Your spectrum, Nick, and my spectrum are very different. Because, you have a true spectrum and, it goes from, good to bad. And mine is just, good. Like, I like this. And then like the last 5, like hot garbage, burn it and salt the earth kind of deal. I mean, for me, honestly, anything not in the 50s, I would probably call a good game. So, I mean, this one was kind of tough for me to rank because it's like it's right smack dab in the middle of a stretch of games that I'm like, yeah, it's a good game. Like, it's below Jet Grind Radio. It's not too far off from Wind Waker for me.
Yeah.
So
I know I have a couple too high.
But the great averaging, I think, takes care of that too.
Yeah.
So on our list, this now is sitting in our number 19 spot. It is below Donkey Kong 64, but it's actually above the original Resident Evil. So
I think from a control standpoint, that
I don't think that's a terrible. I could see some like it's above the original Star Fox on our list.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are not underranking Nightfire by any stretch. If anything, I could see someone coming in there going like, we've got it above Pokemon Crystal. It's above the original Diablo. Like, it's. I think it's well ranked. I think averaged out. I think our spot's pretty solid.
Yeah, probably within the rankings of the general populace, right?
Yeah, I don't think our list is that insane.
Matt, you're probably the metric to go by for like what everybody else would pick. I have some nostalgia, and Nick's got some nostalgia that skew us.
Or skew things down. Tactics. Fucking Tactics in your number 52 spot. Jesus Christ. So
it's because you guys are like, I'm gonna make John play this. I'm gonna make John. I hear that too fucking much. I'm gonna pick this game and make John play it. Like, not for your own enjoyment, but to punish me.
John, get a therapist.
Who's ready for a segue? Nick, what are you gonna make John play next week? He can't even talk.
He's gonna choke on his ramen noodles.
He can't
It's so funny.
He's gonna choke.
Fist of the North Star.
See, there's something to be said about like just spite fucking other people. That's your
John, you're gonna love it.
Your
John,
own
you're gonna love it.
inadequacies you need to pass off on others. I'm just
John, great
saying.
game. Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fisting you all to the North Star.
Kind of those 3 steps fisted your knee.
Yep. Destroyed me.
Hey, what'd you do this weekend? I walked down some stairs. It was treacherous.
I just don't know how you hurt you. You were just like walking. You just
Because 300 pounds on one leg.
Those legs should be able to support you.
No, but if you think you have 300 pounds on a leg,
You walked
that
downstairs with all that red wine in your blood and you didn't know how to walk
stays
anymore.
there. That's actually how my friend actually tore up.
You're too busy being Italian with your hands. And you just moved your knee at 15 degrees
You know
the
what?
wrong
You
way.
shit on me 1 or 2 more times. Peace and out.
Stop spite fucking me with games and I'll be nicer.
That's a bullshit lie.
I reciprocate niceness.
John, I love you, but I'm going to
reciprocate.
spite fuck you with games until the day I die. That could be tomorrow. Could be tomorrow.
With niceness. Because I always plan everything. So there we go. There's the caveat.
John, do you need a cuddle?
Nick planned Persona 3. You can't say Nick doesn't plan things.
I will mail you. Oh, all right.
John becomes the Unabomber on a podcast. I will mail you a bomb.
This is gonna mail you dog poop, but okay. I can be more creative. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Fist of the North Star. On the
John,
NES.
you should really watch the live action movie.
Yeah, John. Year of the Weeb, man. Step up.
No, I'll go, be useful.
But the live action movie is so great. Fist of the North Star anime series.
I don't.
And that's on IMDb.
It's an NES game, so whatever. It's not going to look stupid.
It's going to be great. I can't wait. We'll be fully recovered.
What was that?
I didn't say anything. I said I can't wait for this episode because we're going to be fully recovered.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be back on our A game, and you will be subjecting us to a gem, an experience that we will never forget.
If anyone say, I mean, the North Star will always guide us to where we need for home.
Fucking stretch.
Jesus H.
Hey, speaking of guidance, please go follow us on our Twitter. We're on also Instagram. You can also, in those both feeds, you'll see our link to Linktree, which will have where you can listen to us for podcasts, Spotify. You can listen to us on anywhere pretty much you can listen to podcasts. But you can also, more importantly, join us on Discord. We're still waiting. Honestly, if you guys want to get our socials, we're going to start posting them in there because I'm pretty sure there's only 3 of us in there right now. So,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we have Brent Paltrow. So,
Yeah, Gwen's in. Gwen's a welcomer.
Gwen's always there. She's always talking about her goop.
God, we need a game with gems in it.
You should just cut like half of that last 10 minutes out. It was just a fucking garbled mess.
I go.
What garbled mess would you want me to cut, John?
I don't know. We were just rambling back and forth.